Squats done properly are the most functional exercise you can find. It is the same basic mechanics to get up and down out of a low chair and to pick up a heavy box from the ground. It is the basis of lift with your legs, not with your back. Squats are the fundamental skill that everyone should learn to do properly because they are the building blocks of most higher level movements and basic life skills like sitting, lifting, and bending. To squat well, it is best to start in bare feet so you can become aware of the ground and your center of gravity. Start by standing tall and think about how you have your weight balanced over your feet. Your feet should be like tripods with weight distributed evenly on the heels and the front of the feet. The way your weight feels on your feet when you're standing is how it should feel the whole time during a squat, balanced and even. As you squat, your feet should lightly grab the ground by pressing your toes down to maintain some weight on the front of your feet, and not shift entirely back to your heels. To initiate a squat, start with your feet shoulder width apart. Then tip your butt backward as you bow your trunk forward, keeping your center of gravity evenly over top of your feet. After the initial tipping back, focus on slowly lowering your butt down to the floor by bending your knees. Imagine the floor is a leg press machine, and you are going to lower the floor to you using your legs. Now imagine you are wearing a really long necktie with a lead weight on the end, and you're trying to keep the weight in a small circle between your big toes as your butt gets closer to the ground. Your torso should follow your hips down and end up at a 45-degree angle to the ground. Do not overly attempt to keep your chest up as you squat down. Let your legs, abs, and diaphragm do the work to hold you up, not your back. The natural S-curve of your spine should remain the same as you squat, but you'll have to work harder and harder to maintain it as you squat lower and lower. In other words, I should be able to duct tape a wooden stick to your back, and you can still squat properly because the movement is happening in your hips, knees, and ankles, not your spine. Your trunk should tip forward as one unit as you squat. Some people will tend to hinge forward from their spine. Some will collapse in their knees and feet. Others will push their butt back too far and reach their hands forward. And some just try to stay perfectly vertical the whole time. There are a lot of ways to attempt bending, but it is a skill to use your legs and keep your trunk in a neutral S-curve. If you are a person that tends to hinge in your spine as you squat, you need to learn to use your hip flexors to keep your pelvis over top of your hips as you fold. Initiate the movement by drawing your pubic bone to the ground as you gently sit backward. As your butt gets closer and closer to the ground, you will have to work harder and harder at pulling your pubic bone down and back between your legs. This should be perceived as a deep tension in your lower abdominals, and your legs doing a lot more work. Remember that as you squat down, to keep your center of gravity balanced over top of your feet, not just on your heels. If you are a back gripper with an anteriorly tipped pelvis to start with, you need to learn to use the muscles down the backs of your legs to stop your body from tipping too far forward as you squat. Imagine your hamstrings are like the chain on a drawbridge that lowers your torso forward. They attach onto your sits bones and should develop some tension to help hold the torso up. If they don't, your body will collapse forward and/or you will continue to push your butt back instead of getting it down. The result will be you using a lot of your back and thigh muscles instead of your gut and butt. Focus on staying over top of your feet and sinking your butt down to touch a low bench or chair, with your torso at about a 45-degree angle to the ground. At the bottom of the squat position, you should be actively engaging your lower stomach muscles and feel like your legs are doing a lot of work. From here, you want to further engage your low abs and strongly push the floor away from you to stand your body upward. This should be a push down feeling from your legs and not a pull up feeling from your chest. Your hips should drive up and forward while you work to keep your lower ribs backward. Keeping your lower ribs backward will keep you over top of your feet and prevent you from leaning your whole trunk backwards. At the top of the movement, you should feel tight in your gut and your butt, and your side profile should look very straight. Make sure you finish off the squat into this straight position, and don't just bend in the mid-range the whole time. It is the last few inches that really target your butt. Pause in this straight braced position for 2 to 3 seconds between each repetition. And remember, slow on the way down and faster on the way back up, but controlled by the legs the whole time. Holding on to dumbbells in each hand is a good progression and can actually make the movement slightly easier. Progress to heavier weights and jumping as you improve. Notice how the squat mechanics are the same as the bridge and the kneeling squat.